here to discuss Chief Operating Officer at Turning Point UK, Nick Tenconi. Nick, thank you so much for joining us. You know, people are outraged over this kind of two-tier policing system that we're seeing in the UK. And the concern, of course, is that, like, we're seeing it here in the United States as well. And quite a very hypocritical, because the same people that talked about George Floyd, I can't breathe, and kneeled for him, are staying silent when it comes to Henry here. This is absolutely horrific. What do you make of all the protests and the outrage?
Yeah, well, it is horrific. So we've got senior cabinet members like David Lammy in Britain being asked to take the knee for Henry Novak, and then outright saying no. And if we rewind 6 years ago, you've got senior officials, or certainly now anyway, Wes Streeting, Angela Rayner, Keir Starmer, our Prime Minister. The list goes on and on and on, where they deliberately virtue signaled in performative virtue signaling to take the knee for a career criminal, an American, nothing to do with Britain, scumbag George Floyd, who died of a drug overdose. So when it suits the leaders that we have in Britain, when it suits their agenda to make these insanely performative, outrageous virtue signaling gestures towards the leftists, the so-called oppressed, the progressive cause, they don't hesitate. Meanwhile, you're seeing riot police deployed deliberately to engage, to debate patriots who have legitimate concerns with regard to the safety of their streets and the most vulnerable within society. But now it's moved on to more of a designated campaign against or calling out two-tier policing and two-tier justice, which are two separate things. And the people are so terrified, and rightly so, because they simply cannot trust the police anymore because of diversity, equity, and inclusion policies, mantras, and also funding as well. And the architects and the authors of these affirmative action, political correctness, DEI, Black Lives Matter, critical race theory has been institutionally woven now into the legislature, into the judiciary as well. And it all points at anti-white bias and the protection of black, brown, non-white and minority rights. It's got nothing to do with white rights at all.
Right. Do you think that if there wasn't this obsession to pander to the Islamic, to pander to all of these illegal migrants that have come into the UK, that Henry might be alive today? Is that there's this kind of obsession by the police to say, oh, I'm sorry, you're the victim here, instead of the guy bleeding to death on the ground saying, I can't breathe?
So let's be absolutely clear. We don't have every single last fact at the moment. What we do know is that anyone who's a first responder, especially in Britain with the police, the training they're given, fire, ambulance, etc., you've got 3 minutes. That's how long Henry had with the male first responding officer you've just showed in the clip, and with the female responding officer. So 18 years old, it's December 3rd, if memory serves. It's December, it's cold, you've been stabbed through your lungs. You're very young, you haven't done anything wrong. You've got a man who's essentially just killed you. You've got the family and the brother. You're lying on someone's driveway on gravel, and the police officer, someone that you're looking to help you, people we used to respect, again, an 18-year-old young guy. He's being put in handcuffs, and he's had his hands cut behind his back, which is obviously going to exasperate his already labored breathing. He knows he's dying, and in that 3 minutes, we will never know whether the first responding officers could have saved him. So we have to ask ourselves the question now, why did the man say, after Henry said, I've been stabbed, why did the officer say, I don't think you have, mate? The allegation of racism to British law enforcement on that night in Southampton, the allegation of racism, no matter how ridiculous, and the first call has been recorded as well to 999 by Digwe's with Digwe's brother on the phone. No matter how ridiculous any of this seemed, the officers did not look after Henry. They were more concerned with the allegation of racism, which was just an allegation, whilst Henry lay there dying. That is a left-wing DEI, political correctness, affirmative action mantra. That is a progressive left-wing agenda, which we now know is lethal in orientation.
Yeah, and it's going to happen right here in the U.S. as well. It's already happening. Nick Tenconi, thank you so much for joining us, sir. Thank you.